Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Bo Chen.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Ven Chan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you a part of A Tale of Two Cities, Book the Third, Golden Thread.
S.
L.
A Tale of Two Cities, Book the Third, Golden Thread. Charles Dickens. Chap. Warren in Secret Sec 1. The traveller fared slowly on his way. He fared towards Paris from England in the autumn of the year 1792. More than enough of bad roads, bad equipages, and bad horses he would have encountered to delay him, though the fallen and unfortunate King of France had been upon his throne in all his glory. But the changed times were fraught with other obstacles than these. Every town gate and village taxing house had its band of citizen patriots, with their national muskets in a most explosive state of readiness, who stopped all comers and goers, cross-questioned them, inspected their papers, booked for their names in lists of their own, turned them back, or sent them on, or stopped them and laid them in hold, as their capricious judgment or fancy deemed best for the dawning republic one and indivisible, of liberty, equality, fraternity, or death. A very few French leagues of his journey were accomplished, when Charles Donnet began to perceive that for him along these country roads there was no hope of return until he should have been declared a good citizen of Paris. Whatever might befall now, he must unto his journey's end. Not a mean village closed upon him, not a common barrier dropped across the road behind him, but he knew it to be another iron door in the series that was barred between him and England. The universal watchfulness so encompassed him that if he had been taken in a net, or were being forwarded to his destination in a cage, he could not have felt his freedom more completely gone. This universal watchfulness not only stopped him on the highway 20 times in a stage, but retarded his progress 20 times in a day, by riding after him and taking him back, riding before him and stopping him by anticipation, riding with him and keeping him in charge. He had been days upon his journey in France alone, when he went to bed tired out, in a little town on the high road, still a long way from Paris. Nothing but the production of the afflicted Gabel's letter from his prison of the Abbey would have got him on so far. His difficulty at the guardhouse in this small place had been such that he felt his journey to have come to a crisis. And he was, therefore, as little surprised as a man could be to find himself awakened at the small inn to which he had been remitted until warning. In the middle of the night, awakened by a timid local functionary and 3 armed patriots in rough red caps and with pipes in their mouths, who sat down on the bed. Silence scrawled a red gap, striking at the coverlet with the butt end of his musket. It is as the good patriot says, observed the timid functionary. I have no choice, said Charles Darnay. Choice. Listen to him, cried the same scowling redcap. It is always as the good patriot says, observed the functionary. Darnay complied, and was taken back to the guardhouse, where other patriots in rough red caps were smoking, drinking, and sleeping by a watch fire. He paid a heavy price for his escort, and hence he started with it on the wet. Wet rose at 3 o'clock in the morning. The escort were two mounted patriots in red caps and tricoloured cockades, armed with national muskets and sabres, who rode one on either side of him. The escort had governed his own horse, but a list line was attached to his bridle, the end of which one of the patriots kept girded round his wrist. In this state they set forth with the sharp rain driving in their faces, clattering at a heavy drag, and trot over the uneven town pavement, and out upon the mire-deep roads. In this state they traversed without change, except of horses and pace, all the mile-deep leagues that lay between them and the capital. They travelled in the night, halting an hour or two after daybreak, and lying by until the twilight fell. The escort was so rigidly clothed that they just did straw round their bare legs, and thatched their ragged shoulders to keep the wet off. Apart from the personal discomfort of being so attended, and apart from such considerations of present danger as arose from one of the patriots being chronically drunk, and carrying his musket very recklessly, Charles Darnay did not allow the restraint that was laid upon him to awaken any serious fears in his breast. For he reasoned with himself that it could have no reference to the merits of an individual case that was not yet stated, and of representations confirmable by the prisoner in the abbey that were not yet made. But when they came to the town of Beauvais, which they did at eventide, when the streets were filled with people, could not conceal from himself that the aspect of affairs was very alarming. Immigrant, my friends, you are a cursed immigrant, cried a furrier, making at him in a furious manner through the press, hammer in hand. The postmaster interposed himself between this man and the rider's bridle, at which he was evidently making, and soothingly said, "Let him be. Let him be." Judge repeated the furrier, swinging his hammer. "Aye, and condemned as a traitor." At this the crowd roared approval. Friends, you deceive yourselves, or you are deceived. "He lies," cried the smith. He is a traitor since the decree. His life is forfeit to the people. At the instant when Darnay saw rush in the eyes of the crowd, which another instant would have brought upon him, the postmaster turned his horse into the yard. The escort rode in close upon his horse's flanks, and the postmaster shut and barred the crazy double gates. The farrier struck a blow upon them with his hammer, and the crowd groaned. But no more was done. "What is this decree that the smith spoke of?" Darnay asked the postmaster, when he had thanked him, and stood beside him in the yard. "Everybody says it is but one of several, and that there will be others if there are not already banishing all immigrants, and condemning all to death who return." "What do I know?" said the postmaster, shrugging his shoulders. "They may be, or they will be. It is all the same." They rested on some straw in a loft until the middle of the night, and then rode forward again when all the town was asleep. Among the many wild changes observable on familiar things which made this wild ride unreal, not the least was the seeming rarity of sleep. After long and lonely spurring over dreary roads, they would come to a cluster of poor cottages, not steeped in darkness, but all guttering with lights, and would find the people, in a ghostly manner in the dead of the night, suckling hand in hand round a shrivelled tree of liberty. We're all drawn up together singing a liberty song. Happily, however, there was sleep in both eyes that night to help them out of it, and they passed them once more into solitude and loneliness, jingling through the untimely cold and wet, among impoverished fields that had yielded no fruits of the earth that year, diversified by the blackened remains of burnt houses, and by the sudden emergence from ambuscade, and sharp reining up across their way, of patriot patrols on the watch on all the roads. Daylight at last found them before the wall of Paris. The barrier was closed and strongly guarded when they rode up to it. "Where are the papers of this prisoner?" demanded a resolute-looking man in authority, who was summoned out by the guard. Naturally struck by the disagreeable word, Charles Darnay requested to speak or to take notice that he was a free traveller and French citizen, in charge of an escort which the disturbed state of the country had imposed upon, and which he had paid for. The drunken patriot had them in his cap, and produced them. Casting his eyes over Gabel's letter, the same personage in authority showed some disorder and surprise, and looked at Darnay with a close attention. He left his escort and escorted without saying a word, however, and went into the guard room. Meanwhile, they sat upon their horses outside the gate, looking about him while in this state of suspense. Charles Darnay observed that the gate was held by a mixed guard of soldiers and patriots, the latter far outnumbering the former, and that while ingress into the city for peasants' carts bringing in supplies, and for similar traffic and traffickers, was easy enough. A guess even for the homeless people, was very difficult. A numerous medley of men and women, not to mention beasts and vehicles of various sorts, was waiting to issue forth. But the previous identification was so strict that they filtered through the barrier very slowly. Some of these people knew their turn for examination to be so far off that they lay down on the ground to sleep or smoke, while others talked together or loitered about. The red cap and tricolour cockade were universal, both among men and women. When he had sat in his saddle some half hour, taking note of these things, Darnay found himself confronted by the same men in authority, who directed the guard to open the barrier. Then he delivered to the escort, drunk and sober, a receipt for the escorted, and requested him to dismount. He did so, and the two patriots, leading his tired horse, turned and rode away without entering the city. He accompanied his conductor into a guard room, smelling of common wine and tobacco, where certain soldiers and patriots, asleep and awake, drunk and sober, and in various neutral states between sleeping and waking, drunkenness and sobriety, were standing and lying about. The light in the guardhouse, half derived from the waning oil lamps of the night, and half from the overcast day, was in a correspondingly uncertain condition. Some registers were lying open on a desk, and an officer of a coarse, dark aspect presided over these. Citizen Defarge, said he to Darnay's conductor, as he took a slip of paper to write on. Without doubt. Without doubt. Just heaven, exclaimed Darnay. The officer looked up from his slip of paper for a moment. We have new laws, avament, and new offences since you were here. He said it with a hard smile, and went on writing. I entreat you to observe that I have come here voluntarily, in response to the apparent appeal of a fellow countryman which lies before you. I demand no more than the opportunity to do so without delay. Immigrants have no rights. Avament, was the stolid reply. Defarge motioned with the paper to the prisoner that he must accompany him. The prisoner obeyed, and a guard of 2 armed patriots attended them. Yes, replied Darnay, looking at him with surprise. To be continued.